Students, from Hundredfold Academy, we want to take you through CUET and how to fill up the CUET 2024 for the undergraduate students. So as we start, I would like to take you first, what is CUET? We all know CUET is nothing but your common university entrance exams. Now when we talk about CUET, there is a word everybody is waiting whether it's going to be exempted. Should I sit for CUET exams or should I not sit? My advice would be we should sit for CUET exams, because this is one exams that is uniform. It's all over the country, no matter we come from different boards, let's say CBSE boards, state boards, ISC boards. Now with the same common exams, it brings uniformity all throughout the country. And secondly, it's an opportunity for the students to get into some reputed central universities, deemed universities, and so on and so forth. And it has more options. With just one exams, you are able to choose various options. So this is the beauty about CUET. Now, when we talk about CUET exams, it has more than 250 universities. We've got central universities of around about 45. We've got state universities, 37, deemed university, private universities, and other universities. When we say other universities, we mean universities like the culinary arts, people who wanted to be a chef. Then we also have for the agriculture ICAR, and as well as your travel and tourism. So you have more options to go with just one exams. Now, if you talk about CUET again, your exam is divided into sections, section 1, section 2, section 3. And for us in Meghalaya, it's always nice because we don't have much of options as far as language is concerned. So section 1A, we opt for, let's say, English. Section 1B, again, we opt for English. And then, you have questions of 50 questions, out of which you have to attempt 40 for each. And you have a time of 45 minutes. Likewise, when you finish choosing your section 1, we go to section 2. In section 2, you have various papers that you can choose from, where you can choose from, because now you have science, you have commerce, you have arts, so you have 27 domain, we call it. In other words, which paper you want to do your honors on. Let's say I want to do on economics, so my domain paper would be on economics. Some may want to do accountancy and so on. It all depends, even the domain papers. Some domain paper will have a 45 minutes duration, where there are some domain paper you have a 60 minutes duration. So, and then we have the third section where it's general test, where I will explain to you more in details ahead. So when you sit for CUET exams, most of the class 12 students have a problem, because this is for the first time you will be sitting for negative marking. When I say negative marking, it's all multiple choice questions. If you get one question correct, you get 5 marks. However, when you make a mistake, or when your answer is wrong, there is negative marking of -1 mark. So you got to be careful, be certain when you take your answers. Of course, you can take a chance of 50-50 some of your questions, but do not take too many risks, because your negative marking will be very, very crucial to give you the boost in your rankings or your marks. So this is tentatively how the breakup is going to be. Now, of course, we have the details, tentative details here. However, for 2024, it's already out in the website. The windows are open. These were just a tentative, plan. We know now. You just go to the website. As from the 27th of February, it's already open. And then we have till around about, I think, March 26. When you fill up the form, of course, you can also have some correction times in case you want to make some changes. So today I'm going to really basically help you in filling up the form. So the process is very simple, but you just have to be very, very certain, and at the same time just focus on what you're doing. Don't make clumsy errors while filling up the form. I would like to say, have a good peace of mind. Do not be tense and stressed as you fill up the forms. So basically, when you fill up the forms, you'll have three sections of your form. The registration part, you'll have to do all your registrations. Then once it's done, you go for your applications and with your payment. Okay, so let's start first with the registration. Okay, so once this is from the last year, we have captured something from the last year, windows, but today you may have them some minor changes here and there. But then when you go the website, in the NTA website for CUET, you will see that they'll be scoring the write-up saying registration now open. You just go and click on that registration now open. Then there would be something that comes out saying a new candidate registration. So you need to click on the new candidate registration. Of course, last year they had something different. There's an orange button somewhere on top that says register. So you just need to click on that register. But this year, they'll be showing registration now open. Let me again reiterate. You just click that, and then you'll see it's something called, something will come out as new candidate registration. So just click there. It will take you to the next page. When you look at the next page, I know you cannot see here, but it's basically for you to just go through the instructions of how things needs to be done. As you go through the instructions, it's very important for you to go to the instructions, but they also have an option saying download the information brochure. So if you want, you can download the information brochure for your convenience. But then before you really go deeper, it's always advisable to go through the information brochure, because they'll mention there what are the documents you'll require as you fill up the form, what are the sizes of photographs and signatures, which we'll be discussing ahead. How do you go about it? That would be very, very important for you. Those informations are very, very handy. So let me go further. When you talk about, there'll be, as I said, there'll be instructions, procedures, just go through it. And once you are done, there would be click here to proceed. So click here to proceed. Before you go to click here to proceed, you have a dialog box there saying that I have downloaded. You can click there. Okay, click here to proceed. So as I said, this was the template that was prepared for last year. Even if there are changes, there would be minor changes. But what this video will help you is to at least understand what are the things that I need to prepare, more or less what are the things that I need to fill. So as it goes, basically you start with your personal details. Now, your name, your father's name, mother's name, and if some of them may not have mother, father, they have guardian name, then your date of birth, gender, nationality. Now it's very important for you to choose the identity type. This year you already have in the front page your identity type, all right, whether you want to give your PAN card, whether you want to do with your Aadhaar, there are options available. So choose the one that you would like to give, all right, and then if you're giving your voter ID, then it'll be your identification number of your voter ID. If you're giving Aadhaar, then in the moment you tick on that options Aadhaar card, something will pop out saying that please give your Aadhaar number ID. So this is how you fill this form. Okay, so just fill up these details. I will just stress on some key points, because as you go, the details are all about you. It's very easy to go through. A template may just change a little bit here and there. Don't worry, because if you go on the live template, we'll have to really fill the data, and unless we don't fill those data, we cannot proceed. That's why we've just captured from the last year template. So then the thing is now all about your present address. I know some of you will be thinking, sir, I have 2 addresses. That we will come to that later. However, where are you staying right now? Fill all your present address details, present address, but this time it's very, very important for you to have your email address or email ID handy. Please do not give an email ID where you have forgotten your password. It's very important for you to know your mail ID because they will generate OTP that will come to your mail ID. So please remember, you will only give the mail ID that is your personal mail ID, and also you remember the password. So after you've given your email ID address, you confirm that, then you give your mobile number which has got, you know, that you are holding, and again you confirm that. You can give another alternate number as well. So this is just basically your present address and capturing your email ID as well as your phone number. However, the next slides will say permanent address. The previous one was present address, and then let's say you live somewhere but originally you're from somewhere else. No worries. Here, if it's the same, then you just click in the button that says same as present address. Automatically it's gonna pull the information from the previous one and it'll populate. However, if it's not the same, then you may have to fill the permanent address as well. And once you're done with this, then you will have to generate password. Password, you know, for class 12 students, maybe sometime you thought, let's just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or just your name. However, you know, because of security reasons, they would prefer you to have at least minimum of 8 characters, and it should be a mixed character. So you should have uppercase, where we sometimes call it, you know, capital letters. You should have symbols like @, dollars, hash, all right? And you should also have numbers. Let's say, for example, you can give T, capital T, TEST, @123. So you have got uppercase, which is capital letter, you've got numbers, you've got letters, as well as you've got symbols. So you have to combine all this with a minimum of 8. Once it's done, please write down somewhere your password, because you cannot forget your password in case you want to log in, you know, every time you need to check your details, your admit cards, and so on and so forth. So keep your you know, registered password or confirm, you know, that you have made handy, and save it somewhere. And then there may be a question called security question. Now when you talk about security question, you just click there. There'll be some sets of security question. Let's say the city you were born. You know, you can write down, let's say your city you were born, Shillong. Then you write down answer Shillong. So choose an easy one for security reason. So when you click there, you will know what is the security question they'll ask. It's all related to something simple, something that you remember. Maybe sometimes they may say, what is your mother's surname, right? Or your mother's first name. So security question is there. Once this is done, then it's confirmed, and then what happened, you will be filling this security pin, all right? This colored one, you will be getting there, fill the security pin, and once this is done, then you click submit. Once you click submit, then what happened is this page will come. They want to just cross check whether your name is okay, your father's name is okay, email address, present address, date of birth, mother's name. So once again, they want you to cross check one more time, just in case there are some changes that needs to be made. In case you need to make some changes, then you'll have to click edit registration detail, make those changes. When you see all are correct, then there's something you will have to declare. I hereby declare that I fill up the online application form. Just click there, done. And once you accept this, then you go to a point called submit and send OTP to mobile. As you submit, one time password or OTP will come to your registered mobile. And once that is done, then all the details are checked, submit, then you get it into your OTP, fill in that OTP, All right, fill in the OTP that you get in your registered mobile, and as you fill that OTP, again you have a security pin. Just fill the security pin exactly and click on the button submit. Once you're done with that, your registration is done. Very simple. So that is your level 1 as far as registration is concerned. So once you're done with registration, doesn't mean that it's done. Okay, now your next level or your next step would be on your application form. Nothing so difficult, because it's all about you. But now you'll have to get ready to apply. You have to have your passport, soft copy, passport size photograph. I would recommend, for a good visibility, to have a white backdrop. You will need to sign your signature, sign in a white piece of paper, and have a PDF, you convert to PDF, save that soft copy, because you will be needed to upload those two as well. Then of course your 10 mark sheet, and also your 12 mark sheet. Since those who finished their exams in 12 last year, then they'll have to say give the 12 mark sheet. But for you who are appearing now, you don't have to give your 12 mark sheet, because you don't have, right? So you just write appearing. Once you fill appearing, you will not be asked for your 12 mark sheet. So get all these handy, and if you are claiming your reservations, then you have to get ready with your all those reservations certificates as well. And I'll just show you where are those areas that you will be required. So now we are continuing, we are filling the application form. As I said, this is just a guidance template which you've captured from last year, but then they would be similar, but the design may change a bit here and there in your 2024, but the details more or less is the same. So as you fill on the online CUET application form, you give your personal details. So again, they'll take you through your personal details, okay? Your name, your gender, nationality, and so on and so forth. You can fill them up. And next, again, you fill your address, home address, your permanent address, and if it's the same, then it's the same. However, now there are some reservation chart that's available here. Let's say you're applying reservation from BPL background, then you have to collect BPL. Don't just stick whichever you want. You need to have a backup certificate if you are doing, because later you'll have to upload the certificates. Are you a Kashmiri migrant? Do you play sports for your state or for the country, sports quota, NCC quota? And let's say if your parents are working in a particular university and you want admission in that university, there is some reservation. So you can say, yes, my parents are from the university. Again, your parents have to get certificates from the university. Some of the reservations that you can check, of course, later you have your scheduled tribe as well. So class 10, all the details they'll be asking you, your class 10 mark sheet, they'll ask you where is the school, the name of your school, the country, board name, like for Meghalaya, we have Meghalaya Board of School Education. And then you also have to fill your class 10 phone number. So, you've got to know your school address, your school pin code, because you need to fill all those, your class 10 school. So this is basically filling the details from your class 10. That means basically you're filling the details from the school that you did your class 10. So once this is done, result status for class 12, if you you got it already, if you're a student from last year, then you may have to go through the same filling again. But once you say appearing, then you may not require, maybe only some that you say your board name from the state and so on and so forth. By now you already have your admit card, so you know your roll number, fill in your roll number, the school that you're doing your standard 12, the address, the pin code of your school, same like what you did for your class 10. And once this is done, fill in your school class 12 again here, your class 12 details, because some of us may have done class 10 in one school and 11, 12 from another school. So you'll have to fill the detail of the schools where you have pursued your class 12. So that detail has to be given. And once that is done, you just need to save all of those. So once you click save, done. Next, they'll take you to areas where you want to set your exams, which city you want to set. So they'll give you two options at least where you can choose from. So first preference, let's say you select the state. I'll just give you an example. I say Meghalaya. So once I select the state Meghalaya, that means all this, the centers where this CUET exam is happening, there'll be a drop box, it'll come. So you choose, I want to choose Shillong, so I click Shillong. All right, so done. So my first preference is Meghalaya and Shillong. Let's say I have to have a backup as well. So let's say I select a state, maybe Meghalaya, but if I have a center in Nongpo, so I choose Nongpo. However, let's say that option is not there, so I select a state. The nearest state for me would be Guwahati, Assam, sorry. So I click Assam, and then I choose the nearest. And I see Guwahati, so I click Guwahati. So my second preference is Guwahati. First preference, let's say Shillong. So based on the preference, you'll have preference 1 and preference 2. Once that is done, you save that as well. So every time you need to save, and now it's all about choosing your university. I want to encourage you students, when you choose your university, please do your homework, which university you want to join, because there are 250 plus universities. You cannot just randomly choose any university. And even as you choose universities, you'll have to understand that what subject you want to take in that university. Let me give you an example. I have chosen Nehru University, Northeastern Hill University, and I wanted to take a subject called psychology. So, that will not work because Nehru does not have a subject called psychology, right? So, whichever university you're choosing, you have to know whether you have that subject that you desire. Let's say for a student who wants to do BBA, whichever university is taking, go to their website, check through the programs they have, and check whether they have the program that you are interested in. If you don't, then this will not work, right? And every university, later we will show you, has their own eligibility criteria. So if you choose, let's say, 2 universities, one, let's say you have taken Northeastern Hill University, and second you have taken, let's say, Delhi University. So you see, the criteria to get into Northeastern Hill University may not be the same as Delhi University, because CUET is just the eligibility, all right? However, every university has their own respective criteria. So it's very important for you to visit first the university's website where you're interested in. All the details would be there with regards to CUET, eligibility criteria. Even our NEHU has it. Click, download, go through it before you fill the university portion. Once you are confirmed which university you want, click that university. Let's say Northeastern Hill University as your first preference. Then what program you want to do? Sir, I want to do my BCom or my BA in History Honors. Then you select that, all right? And then you've added that, and you want one more. Then you can say add one more. Then another university comes as number 2, number 3. You can add as many universities as you want, all right? So on that note, if you want to get into a university and you have not filled in here, all right, later you cannot, because you will have to choose from the universities that you have chosen. So basically this is the template where you'll be filling information on universities you're interested in, and once you click on the universities, immediately their criteria will come, eligibility will come, and what are they expecting. I'll just give you an example. Let's say somebody wants to do a BA in Japanese, all right? So what happened is, let's say I see that BA in Japanese is there in JNU or Jawaharlal Nehru University. So once I click there, your university name will pop up, program name is BA in Japanese, and what are the subjects required for you to get into through CUET. Here, let's say they want only your section 2. So they'll check only your section 2 score. So what I'm saying here is there would be university who wants to get all your scores from section 1, section 2 and section 3. But there are some universities who say, no, I'm not interested with section 3. I'm more interested only with section 1 and section 2. So they will take marks only of section 1 and section 2. Or maybe some, they'll say only, I don't want 1, 2, 3. I will take only with 1 or only with 2. So that's why it's very important for you to check out the university that you're interested in to see whether, and know prior what are the eligibility criteria. And once you know the eligibility criteria, you can even click here. There's a portion called eligibility. Click there and then you know the details and then you take action. Once that is done, university is registered. However, after this is done, you can keep, as I said, you can keep adding, you can review whether it's all correct. And once you're done, if you want to make changes, then you can upgrade or update your program form. Otherwise, you say, no, I'm fine, this is all good. Then you proceed to the next section. Okay? Now, in the next section, all the details have come. So again, now the time has come for you to choose your papers. What papers you're choosing. Let's say in section 1, for example, I have taken 1A, I've taken English, and 1B I've taken Assamese. All right, so but then I can take section 1A English, and from section B I can also take English. So choose those papers, choose your domain paper. I will always suggest at least have 2 or minimum. Don't just go with 1. Let's say I want to do honors in political science or in accountancy. I've taken that as a first preference, but I need to have a backup. All right, be it history or economics or geography and so on. So you choose your papers, then your general test papers. One that is done, click save button. That's it. Once you've saved, it gets saved. Of course, there'll be lots of options given. If any time you want to make changes, they have that provisions. You can make changes, and as you go, then you can keep all those details like your subjects. All the subjects you have taken will be displayed on the screen, and then the cross check whether it's okay or not. Anything to update, any changes. If you said yes, I want to make some more changes, click the button, make some changes. If not, then you proceed to the next section. Okay, and then once this is done, now it's time for you to start uploading documents. So first of all, your photograph, passport, ensure that it's a good, nice passport size photograph. It's got good clarity. They'll mention there that if it's a photograph, it should be between 10 kb to 200 kb. So sometimes if it doesn't fall under that bracket 10 kb or 200 kb, the system will not accept and you'll get rejected. So you got to check the properties. What is the size of your passport size photograph? If not, if you're doing from cyber, then please fit in within this bracket. Otherwise, there are many options that you can do. You can do from open the pane window, you can make changes. There are many ways where you can bring in this bracket. You don't have to go and click another photographs. Okay, so the same thing with your signature. All right, it should be between 4 kb to 30 kb. Once that is done, you click select the file. So where is it? You go and select the file. So once you select the file, okay, always best to have it in JPG, then your signature. Once this is done, start to upload them. Okay, this was, as I said, last year, but it's gonna be same. Upload your documents. Basically here, sorry, it's your photograph and your signature. Once this is done, upload it, done. Proceed to your preview section. Then you can see whether it's all okay or not. Then they'll again show and display to you all that you have filled, whether it's okay, university, subjects. If you say okay, then you say proceed. If not, update the application form. So let's say everything is fine. Now I'm done with application more or less. Now I have to proceed to my payment. Okay, so Confirm your mail ID again. You confirm, done. Then you put the security code or security pin. Of course, an OTP will come to your mail as well. Then you verify. Once you verify, there would be an one-time password that has gone to your mail ID. You take that one-time password, fill it there, again fill the security pin and verify. Very simple. And once that is done, your registration form is done. If you want to make changes, again you will get an option that you can make changes here. If not, if everything is fine, you say proceed, then it'll take you to the payment option. So payment, you've got different categories for different subjects. It's not a flat rate for every students. All right, in general, you'll get all in the bulletin. General category was 650, general tribe 650 for general tribe, general is 750, OBC 700. So I would suggest always go with 7 subjects, so that you have more flexibility. So for us, I think most of us are from the Shillong tribe category. It's 1300, okay? But if you want to do at least 10 subjects, then if you're doing 10 subjects, then you have to pay a little bit more. Remember, even as you make payment, I'm sure many of us use our parents' card. So you can use your parents' card, but get them, you tell them prior that an OTP will come to your phone number, because OTP from the bank will go to your parents' mobile number. All right, and just check, because sometimes our parents do not know what registered number they have given, and OTP goes to the wrong mobile number. So it's very important for you to also tell them prior when you make the payment, because OTP will be required, right? So on that note, very simple, make the payments. You can choose the bank that you're giving your payments, gender, categories, your Shillong tribe category, how many subjects you're choosing. After all those are filled, go to the payment options. Choose, just fill the card details. After you fill the card details, name, so basically card details is you fill the, ensure whether most of you use debit card, right? So your debit card, fill the debit card number. Once you finish filling the debit card number, you'll have to fill all those expiry, date and month, and name in the card and so on. And then they'll be behind, they'll ask you your CVV number, fill that up. And once that is done, then an OTP will be going to your parents' number that is registered in the bank. But if you're doing your own, it's your own debit card, then it'll come in the same mobile that you have registered in the bank. In fact, I would even suggest it's always good to have your own bank account, because you have done your class 12. All right, so you should have a bank account. So once that is done, they'll ask, this is the total amount to be paid. Are you okay? He says, yes, I'm okay. Confirm. Once you confirm, then the payment is done. Once the payment is done, you have an option to download that receipt or print that receipt. Once this is done, your application is completed. So there are 3 aspects. One is your registration. After you finish your registration, you do the application part. Once you finish the application, then you do the payment part. Once that is done, then you have registered, applied for CUET. So that's basically how filling up the form is all about. However, I also want to give you some inputs, some ideas about papers, how to prepare, tentatively how it's going to come. All right, so I'm just going to help you in that way as well. So of course, there will be areas, time that they will give you to make changes even after you've submitted. But let's say after 2-3 weeks, I don't want to take political science, I want to put backup as history. Don't worry. But then it's already last date. Don't worry. They'll open again for 2-3 days and say, if any changes you want, we're still opening again. If there's an error somewhere, so no problem. You can make that changes whenever they open back, you open the windows again. All right, so basically, as I said, in general, you'll have section 1, which has got 1A, 1B, section 2, and section 3. Section 1, let's say for us, in general, from Meghalaya, we'll be taking English. I'll tell you what are the things you need to cover in English. So stay on here. All right, section 2 is the domain paper, in other words, the honors paper that you want to take. And then of course in section 3, it'll be general test, which has got your school arithmetic, which we call quantitative aptitude. It has got reasoning and a bit of your general knowledge. Now let's see, for example, I've just gone through the previous question papers. How do you prepare your general test paper? Very important. When you do reasoning, remember there'll be coding, decoding, analogy, direction, blood relation, number series, statement arguments, syllogism, calendar, puzzles, and so on. So this is how you prepare, okay? And when it comes to quantitative aptitude, it's all like your average, percentage, you know, your simple interest, compound interest, ratio, proportion, speed, time, distance, your area mensuration, you know, your mean, median, mode, a bit of basic statistics, data interpretations, fundamentals of algebra, fundamentals of geometry, your simplification, profit and loss, and you know, all those basic school arithmetic. And the third piece would be your English. So here English, my friend, prepare nicely your reading comprehensions. A lot of question comes from reading comprehension. Then of course, what you've been doing in school, synonyms, antonyms, idioms and phrases, one word substitution, you know, parajumbles, and so on, and your sentence arrangement as well. So this is basically your general test, and of course a bit of general knowledge is very important. So it's not that rocket science, basic funders, just checking your general awareness is strong or not. Once this is done, let's see last year how the paper was broken up. I mean, question comes from here, just to give you an idea, right? So for example, in reading comprehension, we got almost more around about 15 questions. That's why I'm saying reading comprehension is very, very important. Then you've got synonyms, antonyms around about 4 to 5 questions. You've got idiom and phrases around about 3 to 4 questions. One word substitution around about 3 questions. So as you know how to prepare, as you plan well, it's easier for you to execute, and it's also, you know, one of the strategies for you to clear your CUET. Now again, in your general test reasoning, most of the question came in blood relation, coding, decoding, clock, puzzles, some non-verbal reasoning, only 1 question, and calendar. Last year we had around about 4 questions. Okay, so basically this is how you prepare. For us as Hundredfold Academy, we are there to help you. Any assistance you require, we are always there to help you. So you can, we have some of the e-materials that we give to our students. You know, if you want, just contact us. We will be able to help you with some e-materials. We also will be having online offline classes. All right, we'll be preparing you all the your general test papers, and we will be preparing you with some of the domain papers. We cannot do for all the 27, but we have taken some papers like political science, history, economics, and so on. So stay in touch with our counseling team. They'll be more than willing to give you a free assistance and counseling. Just call us, whatever help and assistance you require. We've got lots of sample papers we can share with you. We've got mock tests before you sit for your CUET. You can try our mock test, so that will help you to understand how will the real exam be like. Okay, so if you need any help, I would recommend you mark these numbers: 801-453-9710. He's our counselor. He will help you with all the CUET assistance. If you cannot get the number, there's another number: 93669-41401. And I think the best would be to come and meet us in person. We are Hundredfold Academy in Nong Malki. We are here in Malki. Just near 7 Set School. You can come with your parents and meet us. And of course, we've got all your materials ready for you guys for your CUET. If you want to know more about Hundredfold Academy, you can even visit our website, hundredfoldacademy.in, or follow us in Instagram or Facebook. So on that note, I hope this session is gives you some insights about how to prepare your CUET, how to fill up the form, and just to get ready how to increase your chances to clear CUET. If you have any question, please call us. We'll be more than willing to help you. Thank you so much. All the very best for your exams.